A lot of pain in my wrists right now. Any advice? Yes, I do. That is actually, if you do a lot of yoga, you could have some wrist pain. So one thing I would say, first of all, Lynn, is what kind of a mat are you using? If you're using a really thick, cushy mat, it's actually not great for yoga because what happens is, I'll kind of show you on my mat here. You have a really thick, cushy mat. When you put your hand down on your mat, often we put more pressure right here in the wrist and the heel of the hand, and these fingers we don't put much pressure in. And so, especially when you're on your table, it's a lot of pressure on the wrist. So what you need to start to do is maybe take a thinner mat for your hands if you can, but start to put pressure. Take it out of the wrist and the heel of the hand and put more pressure in your knuckles. And we have 3 rows of knuckles. So the knuckles where the fingers meet the hand, and then the knuckles in the middle of the finger, and then the knuckles close to the nail bed. And if you put more pressure in your fingers, that'll take some of the pressure out of the wrist. And that's a way to really save your wrists and your hands, especially if you do a lot of yoga. We're also on our computers a lot. So the wrists are kind of hyperextended in this way. So we need to be able to move them down and the opposite. So I'll do some stretches for that. All right.
That'd be great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, that's really common. So we need to use our fingers more and not just the heel of the hands. That's a good, kind of a good cue for all of us, quite frankly. So
Okay.
Great. Hi, Terry. Good morning, everyone. I'm Corrine Hodges.
The pawn shop have the piano in the window in sight. No activity inside.
And someone is not muted.
That's okay. Broadway out.
Mari, maybe? I'm hearing someone's TV or something or phone. All right. We have about 1 minute. So you'll need your yoga mat, maybe a yoga block or 2, and a strap or a small towel or a tie. We've had a request to do some wrist stretches, so we'll work on that today as well. Any other requests, just put them in the chat. We're going to start. So I'll just wait a second here to see if anything else goes in the chat. You can also just unmute yourself and say what you'd like to work on if that's easier for you. All right, I think we'll get started. Okay. So I'm going to start today. You can either be seated in your chair or on your mat, and you can sit cross-legged or in hero's pose. And the thing about hero's pose is, especially if you use a few blocks, it lengthens your lower back. It also opens your quads and your hips, but do what's right for you. If you cannot do either of those, you might want to just take your legs straight out in front of you. So I'm going to begin in hero's pose here. And always beginning with the breath and pranayama. So decide what you need this morning, hands down for grounding, up for energy. And then start to inch the elbows back and open at your chest. And you can take the gaze off the tip of your nose towards the floor. Calm yourself. Know the difference between gazing and glaring. Make sure it's a gaze, soft eyes. And then from here, start to become aware of your breath. Where do you feel it in your body? Where do you feel the rising and the falling? The inhale and the exhale. And then wherever you feel that, take your non-dominant hand. So I'm feeling it in my chest today. And just set that hand on that body part. It might be your throat, your chest, your ribs, your low belly. And then start to think about calming yourself and slowing the breath down. And then silently in your head, or you're alone at home, you can actually count out loud, how long is your inhalation? How long is your exhalation? And do that a few times to get just an average. You do want the inhalation and exhalation to match in length. So lengthen the one that's shorter if they do not match. And see if you can slow it down and extend the inhalation and the exhalation by a count or two. Slow it down. We want to stay relaxed when we do this. We don't want to tense up the space between the eyebrows. That number 11, try to relax it. You shouldn't be focusing so much and stressing about it that it doesn't become natural. Then you might as well just stop counting. Don't worry about the breath and just let it happen naturally. So let's do 3 more rounds. Extended inhalation, extended exhalation. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Real good. And then bring your hands to your heart. You can set an intention for your class. Maybe it is to focus on your breath. Maybe you want to challenge yourself. Maybe you want to go easy, whatever it is. Seal that intention and open your eyes. So we're going to start with, we had a question about wrist. And if you do a lot of yoga or did do a lot of yoga, especially downward dog, and sometimes we can have a lot of strain on our wrists, but also if you're using the computer a lot, our wrists are always up like this. So we want to be able to have mobile wrists. And so you may feel some tension and some pain when we go the opposite way. But the thing of it is, we want to be able to have that full rotation. If your wrists are locked and this is all they do, that's not a good thing. So I'm going to offer several options for this depending on how your wrists are. One is going to be just to do these in the air. Another will be to do them on the floor. And a third will be actually to use a wall. So I'll try to offer several different options for you. If your wrists are really tender, so the gentlest is going to be to do these stretches in the air. So I will take my right arm out, bend at my right wrist. So you can see the fingers are going down, the palms towards me. I'm going to take my left hand, my thumb is on top, my other fingers are on top of the hand, and I'm going to draw the top of the hand towards me lengthen the fingers towards the floor. So I'll come a little bit closer to the camera so you can see what I'm doing. I'm actually trying to send the fingers down, opening the wrist this way. Breathing, spreading the fingers. Then I'll slowly release and then do little circles with that wrist. Fingers go in, up to the side and down, in, up to the side and down, in, up to the side and down. Then I'll go the opposite, out to the side, up and down, out to the side, up and down, out to the side, up and down. Wiggle your fingers. Let's try the other arm. So I'll take my left arm. Notice I'm going straight out for my shoulder, my chest. You can even lower it a little bit. Don't want it higher. Don't really need it lower unless, you know, that is what feels best to you. Right thumb on top, right fingers, drawing the top of my left hand towards me, fingers straight down. I'm going to separate my fingers a bit. Breathe into the top of that hand, the wrist. Try to relax the shoulders. Breathing. Slowly exhale and release, little circles in, upside down, inward, upside down, inward, upside down. Opposite, out to the left, up and down, out to the left, up and down, out to the left, up and down. Wiggle the fingers and release. So if that was pretty intense for you, you're going to stay doing that again. Otherwise, we're going to move to either the floor or the wall. So it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to take the right hand, take the top of the hand into the wall, spread my fingers. I'm going to take my left fist, put it behind the right wrist, and just try to flatten the top of the hand against the wall. So I'll show you in the camera. Often what people will do is they'll take their fingers and they'll push it that way, but that's not really the wrist. I want to try to get the knuckles through the top of the hand into the wall or in the floor, which is what we're going to do next. And then you'll notice my pinky and my thumb are loose. I actually want to try to get those into the surface as well. So trying to get the top of the hand into the flat surface with the opposite fist behind that wrist. And you can do this on the wall, or you can do it on the floor. And I could sit back a little bit if I like the sensation. This might be enough. Again, spread your fingers and try to get your pinky and your thumb on the floor. Take 3 deep breaths. And it's especially on the exhalation where you try to release the tension. And then slowly take that hand off the surface. And again, you can do some of those circles. Wiggle your fingers. And then we'll do the opposite side. So I'm going to take my left hand. I'm going to take the top of the hand into the surface, the right fist behind the left wrist, either on the wall or on the floor. And then I'm going to spread the fingers, especially the thumb and the pinky, and try to have them on the floor. And notice, especially if you're on the floor, how much weight is in your wrist. Put more weight into your fingers. So then you'll just notice immediately that takes a lot of pressure out of your wrist. And take a few deep breaths. Try to release on the exhalation. And then slowly take that hand off and make your circles. So, you know, that may not feel real fun, but we're trying to reverse what we always do with the fingers and the hands. The other thing you can do is to play with moving the fingers in and out. So if you're on your mat, we have the fingers going forward. Now I'm slowly going to turn the fingers on the right hand to the right, on the left hand to the left. And spread the fingers, have not all the weight in the wrists, but also in the fingers. So this depends on your hand and wrist and arm flexibility. Some of us can keep going and move the fingers back towards your knees. And sometimes we can even sit back a little bit, and then you really take the weight out of the wrist into the fingers. I am trying to keep the whole hand down. And then moving the hands to the side, to the front. And then I'm going to turn the fingers in towards each other. Hopefully you can see here. And then I'm going to keep turning them in. Again, this is not possible for everyone. Pinkies are almost touching towards each other, thumbs are out. And then you can see I'm getting a lot of stretch here in the wrists, trying to have some weight in the fingers. I know this probably looks like a circus trick. Take the fingers towards each other, towards the front, and then just moving the wrists. So they should feel a lot more flexible now. Wiggle those fingers. All right, so that's a lot for the wrist. But we do want that mobility. Okay, so let's go ahead today and start with the cat-cow. Exhale, belly to the spine, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. Inhale, relax the shoulders. You can bend the elbows back towards your hips, fill your belly with air. Look out over your nose. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. So even here, look at your fingers. Are they bent? Try to straighten them. Use the fingers, put some pressure in the fingers and not all in the wrists. And come back to your neutral spine. Relax the shoulders back, your tailbone's going straight back. Imagine a straight line from your tailbone through your spine, through your head and your neck. Curl your toes under, lift up the knees, bring your ribs to your thighs and come into your down dog. So if you have tight hamstrings, you're going to need to bend the knees, and you can pedal your feet. Yeah. Trying to get the heel of the straight leg down to the floor. And then release both heels. And slowly walk your feet into your hands, bend your knees. So we're going to try to get our ribs on our thighs. Breathing here. Then I'm going to just hold onto my legs and see if I can start to straighten them. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Bend the knees, get the ribs on the thighs, sink down a little bit more. Straightening the legs. So you can always hold on to a block, hold on to the mat, bend the knees. We're just slowly opening those hamstrings, straightening the legs. Bend the knees one more time, bring my hands to my heart and slowly come up. Shake out your legs. Starting with our warrior one. So if you like to use blocks, take those to the top of your mat. I'll have my right leg forward, step my left foot back. This isn't the huge warrior two, this is warrior one. Take my hand on my left hip, bring it forward. Get the outer edge of my left foot in the mat and the baby toe. Sometimes that wants to come off. Even out the hips so they're straight, even with each other. And then you can bring your hands to your heart. You can take your arms up and they're separate if you're broad, or maybe bring them together, connecting the fingers. The pointer fingers can't go up. Breathing here. Make sure you're not collapsing in your ankle. Put some weight on the outer edge. of that foot, and then bring the hands to the chest. And step the back foot forward, cross. Shake out your legs. If you're doing your hands, you're going to cross the fingers elsewhere. So the opposite baby finger is in front. Step the right foot back, left foot is front. Again, even out the hips. Broaden at the chest, everything's going forward. Chest, shoulders, hips. Bring the hands together at the heart. You can take them up separate. If you bring them together again, we want to cross the opposite way. Opposite baby finger in front. If you can't remember, do the one that's more awkward because you probably did your preferred way to start. Think about the back foot, put the outer edge in the mat so you don't collapse in your ankle. Lengthening. Bring your hands to your heart, step the back foot forward, shake out your legs. All right, so we're gonna stay in warrior one and do some twists. Right foot forward, left foot back. Again, even out the hips. This time, take both arms in front. We don't wanna hyperextend the shoulders. Bring the shoulders into your body. Palms are touching. Bringing the left hip forward. I'm gonna watch my right thumbnail. The left hand's gonna stay. And I'm gonna try to open, open, open as much as my shoulder will allow me, but then I'm gonna twist from my belly to the right side. So the twist is not just from your shoulders and your head. Think about it originating from the belly. Exhale, close. Same side. Inhale. Watch the right thumb as long as you can. Exhale, close. So the left inner thigh is going to go towards the right inner thigh. Try not to move the right knee. And exhale, close. Bring your hands to your heart. You can come onto the ball of that left foot. Step your foot forward, shake everything out. Left foot forward, right foot back, turned a little bit out. Line up your hips with the wall in front of you. Your ribs, your chest, your shoulders. Both hands out, draw the shoulders in. Push the biceps towards each other. Looking at your left thumbnail. Open, open, open as much as you can. Think about opening from the belly, twisting. Exhale, close. Maintain your balance. Open and close. One more time, open and close. Bring your hands to your heart, step the back foot forward, shake out your legs. Very good. So moving into warrior two, this is where you might need your blocks. So we'll go warrior two into triangle. So we'll slide from one pose straight into the other. So I'll keep my right foot forward, step my left foot back. Warrior two. So my hips are now open up to the side, as you can see. I want to keep the front knee over the ankle. Lengthen warrior two. Again, think about stretching from the shoulders to the elbows to the wrists, wrists through the tops of the hands and the palms. Spread the finger, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen through the finger. Then let the left arm pull you back as you start to straighten the right leg. Little micro bend is always good. You can set your right hand on your thigh or your shin, never the knee, or take a block or two and set it inside the leg. Keep drawing the right thigh back and breathing. Some of us might be able to take the block outside. That's going to require a bit more opening in the hips, but you want your back, your upper shoulder on top of the lower shoulder, and keep moving the left hip back. So your back should be like it's along a wall. Nice and straight and long. You're not collapsing in the left shoulder, and your eyes can be straight out, down if it doesn't strain your neck, or up. For most of us, looking straight out is going to be the best thing. Keep drawing the right thigh back, stacking the left shoulder over the right, and moving the left hip towards the wall behind you. So the wall that's behind your back. When you come up, try not to collapse in the shoulders. If you want to bend the front knee, you can. You're going to let that upper arm pull you up. Very nice. Take the right foot, turn it in, left foot out. If you need to shake out the legs, go ahead. Turn that right foot in a little bit more to free up that hip. You can take your block inside the left foot, bend the left knee, try to get the knee over your ankle. Lengthen through the arms. Here's your warrior two. Stretch from the shoulders to the elbows to the wrists, wrists through the tops of the hands and the palm, through the fingers. Lengthening. Now let the right arm pull you back as you start to straighten the left leg. A little micro bend is fine again. And maybe you set that left hand on your thigh, on the shin, or a block. Try to never put it on your knee. Don't need more pressure on the knees. Lengthen through the arms. They should be straight. Keep drawing the left thigh back. Again, if you're feeling pretty open in the hips, you can take that block behind the leg and stack the shoulders. Keep moving the right hip towards the wall behind you, the wall that's behind your back. Lengthen through the spine. Breathing. When you come up, if you have any knee issues, you might want to bend this left knee and then come up. Turn the left foot forward, walk the feet together. So we're going to do reverse triangle into triangle. And this is a really nice pose to do against a wall if you have one. I'm going to kind of pretend I have a wall. You don't have to. If you use a wall, you'll be more stable. So you won't be working on your balance as much, but you'll be working on correct form. So you'll be working more on your flexibility. If you're off of the wall, you're really working on your balance, but you might lose your form. So you've got to decide, what's your focus today? So we're going to start again in that warrior two, right foot forward, left foot back. And again, I'm trying to get the knee over my foot. And I can still do the same thing with the block, but I may not use it, especially if you're on the wall, because the wall will prevent you from cheating. And so you're probably not going to be able to go as far. Lengthen your arms out, just like you're in warrior two. But this time, take your left arm down your left leg, the back leg, turn the right palm up, stay down in the hips. So don't come up in the hips. Take the right arm to the sky. Keeping the front knee bent, now reach towards the wall behind you. So it's like you're reaching back towards your left heel with your right hand. Then start to straighten the front leg. Turn your ribs up towards the sky. Right ribs towards the sky, left ribs accompany it. And then take the arm up, lengthen, use all that length that you created, and come into your Trikonasana. And again, this top shoulder, if you're on the wall, left shoulder on the wall, move the left hip towards the wall. You should feel a very big opening. Wall is really, really good for our form. Nice stretch. And let that left arm pull you up. And you can bend the front knee, walk the feet together, shake out the legs. So reverse triangle into your normal triangle, front triangle. Left foot forward, right foot back. I'm going to bend the left knee, get my knee over my ankle. I can put the block in here. I probably won't use it, honestly. And moving into your warrior two. Relaxing the shoulders down. Take the right arm along the right leg. Left palm up to the sky. Stay down in the hips. Take that arm up to the sky. Now take it back. Your front knee is still bent. I'm starting to turn my ribs towards the sky. Then I'll start to straighten this front leg, turn the left ribs towards the sky, let the right ones follow. Inhale, take the arm up and out, going into your triangle pose. Draw the right shoulder back. Make sure that the right hand is over the right shoulder. A lot of people will take the hand further back, but that pops the shoulder forward. Lengthen through the fingers. Keep moving the right hip back in space towards the wall. Right shoulder back onto the wall. Breathing. Inhale, slowly coming up again. You can bend that front knee and walk the feet together. Now it's a beautiful pose. Really stretches out the whole body. Roll the shoulders out. And so here we're going to go ahead and take our strap. I'm going to use my sweatshirt here or your towel. If you're more comfortable sitting doing this, you can. So a nice shoulder opener. I'm going to take my towel or strap. It's going to be over my right shoulder. And I'm going to hold on to it with my left hand as I bring my right arm up to the sky. The right bicep is close to my ear. Bending at the elbow. I can kind of hold on to that strap here with the palm as I take my left hand and inch my right elbow back. Draw the shoulders down. So they'll really want to pop up into your ears. Try not to let them. Now, if you're standing, even if you're sitting, some of us are going to get really archy. We want to pull these low ribs in and take the tailbone and tuck it in and get straighter, stronger core. So I'm just trying to move this right hand towards the center of my back. I can hold onto the strap or just rest it, holding it with a flat hand. Then from here, I can take the left arm down and around. I'm going to take the top of my hand along my back, and I'm going to go hold onto my strap or my towel. And so I'm moving both hands towards the center of my spine. The top hand is moving towards the space between my shoulder blades. I'm going to keep inching that upper elbow to the sky, inching the lower elbow in towards the center of my spine, breathing into that opening in my shoulders. Just do the best you can. I know a lot of us have tight shoulders. And when you're here, you do want to try to relax the right shoulder down. And then the tendency is this left shoulder goes back, inch it forward, keep the chest even with the wall in front of you. Breathing. Think about stretching on the inhalation, releasing on the exhalation. Where can you soften? Release the left arm and hold on to my sweatshirt here. Release the other arm. Let's switch the side of your strap or your towel. Gonna hold it with the right hand as my left arm goes up, trying to have the bicep close to my ear, bending at the elbow. Now this hand is holding my strap or my towel, and I'm going to take the right hand onto that left elbow and inch it back. Breathing as I feel the stretch really on the underside of this arm. Could also activate that bicep. Checking what's happening with my left hand, try to keep it relaxed. Breathing, trying to lower both shoulders. It's always hard when the arms are up, but we're trying to lower the shoulders. It is possible. You have to really work at it. Take the right arm down and around, move it towards the center of your back. So the hands are meeting in the center of the spine, inching towards the space between your shoulder blades. And again, if you're getting really archy in the back, pull the low ribs in, take the tailbone in, Get tight in the core. Relax the shoulders, especially that left shoulder. And if the right shoulder is moving back, bring it forward a bit so it's even with the left. And take 3 to 5 deep breaths here. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, try to relax. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, try to relax. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, try to relax. Let the right arm go, let the left arm go, and you can take your strap, set it to the side, grab a drink of water. Okay, so we will play with Warrior 3 today. I'm actually on 3 mats, and that is very, very difficult to balance on. So the question about the wrist too, being on 3 mats will actually hurt my wrist more than help, because the thicker the surface, we have a tendency to push more in the wrist, and you'll deepen this bend in your wrist this way, unless you consciously push into the fingers. On Warrior 3, for me, I do my best balancing actually on the floor, where my foot is in connection with the surface and not the mat. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll these mats up for my Warrior 3. If you're not real steady on your Warrior 3, I've got these windowsills here. You might have a wall or a chair. A chair is great. And you can also really work on your form if you've got something to kind of hold on to. Otherwise, you're working on your balance. So I'm going to take the right leg forward and the left leg back, and that foot, the left foot is going in the same direction as the right. And when I come into Warrior 3, I don't want to let this upper hip turn to the side. I want to keep everything square. So right now, my chest, my shoulders, my hips, everything's going towards the front wall. And then when I come into Warrior 3, everything's going to turn down. So arms, the belief is easiest is your arms are back. Next easiest, most difficult is arms in front. So you decide. I'm going to start to think about taking my left inner thigh in towards my right inner thigh. I'm going to start to lift that leg up. You might just be here. Otherwise, you're going for parallel to the floor. Flex the back foot, turn the back hip down, and breathe. When you come up, bend the standing leg, touch this back foot behind it. You never want to slap that down quickly. Bring that foot in. We don't want to injure our back. Shake out your legs. Warrior 3 on the other side. So my left foot will be front. My right foot is back a bit. I'm going to think about taking that right inner thigh towards my left inner thigh so that hip doesn't go up. Slowly lifting up that foot, that leg, straightening the leg, turning the toes down, trying not to let my upper body drop below my hips. Breathing. Slowly coming up, tapping the right foot and bringing it in. Shake out your legs. So we did that once. So I did that without anything to hold on to. I'm going to try it now with holding on to something so I can focus on the form. So you don't have to. You can just do what you were just doing. I'm going to hold on to a chair, and I'm going to still come into it the same way. Lift the left leg up. Turn the left inner thigh into the right inner thigh. And I'm going to try to straighten my legs and really focus on my form. My hips are turned down. My shoulders are turned down. I'm looking below me, trying to straighten both legs. Very different than having to work on balance. I'm going to bend the standing leg, touch the other leg behind me, bend both, and come up. Shake out my legs. On the other side, have my left leg closer to the chair, right leg's behind. Start to turn the right inner thigh towards the left. Coming forward in my position, hips turned down, chest, shoulders turned down. I'm going to slowly try to straighten my legs, flex the raised foot. So the foot on the raised leg, flex it like it's going into a wall behind you. Breathing, keep turning the right hip down. Then the standing leg, touch the other leg, bend both knees and come up safely. Shake out your legs. So you can focus on the flexibility or the balance or both, if that's the level that you're at. Real good. Grab a drink of water. Okay. So we're going to prepare for a goddess pose, big hip opener. And again, if you have a support like this windowsill or a chair, that's great. That's going to allow you to focus more on the form again. Otherwise, it's going to be more balanced. So I'm actually going to roll this up. So I'm going to take my feet, take them pretty wide. Then I'm going to turn one foot out, trying to get it parallel to the front edge, and the other foot out. And I want to walk the legs pretty far out so the knees are right over the ankles. What we don't want is this. You can see my knees are further out than my ankles. It's a lot of pressure on the knees. So walking out, turning the feet out, starting to sink down. So you never want to sit lower than the knees. Most people can't, but that's way too much pressure on the knees, finding your balance. If I had a chair or a counter, I could hold my hands here and just focus on the opening of the hips. Seeing if we can hold this for 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and up. Turn the feet in, walk the feet together. It's a huge hip opener. If you feel it in the knees, come up a little higher. Breathing, let's step out again. Turn each foot out. Your heels are going towards each other. And you're coming down into your goddess pose. Breathing, relax the shoulders, soften the eyes, remain calm, holding for 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and up. Walk your feet together. Really good. Roll the shoulders back and roll them forward. Take your lower jaw, shift it to the left and the right. Keep things loose in your face. So we'll play a little bit with balance. If you have a block, that's great. Even if you had a stair in the house, you could use the step. The steps would be this way. I'd be going sideways, but I'm going to come onto my right foot and I'm going to cross above the knees, my left leg over my right. I'm going to set my left foot on the block. So I'm trying to close any gap between my thighs and just bringing my hands to my heart. I'm going to sink down and relax and maintain stability. See if you can hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up. We're going for a half eagle pose here. That's what we're doing. I'm going to switch the block to my other side along my left foot. I'm going to close the gap between my thighs, right leg over the left, setting my foot on the block, hands to the heart, sinking down, bending down, breathing, relax the shoulders, soften the eyes, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A little longer, come on up. See if you can build your strength, really good. So now we're gonna play with taking this foot up off the block. Same thing, getting into position. I keep everything going straight and square. Cross the left leg over the right, close the gap, hands to the heart, calm yourself, and then just play with, can I take this foot off the block? And the rest of my body, unlike what I just did, should not move. So just playing with lifting that foot off the block. And then see if you can lift it and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can set that foot on the block, or if you wanted the strength of the legs, standing up with that foot off the block. Shake out your legs. On the other side, block is next to my left foot. Cross the right leg over. No gap between the thighs. Hands to the heart, bending down. Softening, finding your composure, and then playing with taking the right foot on and off the block, trying not to move anything else, trying not to panic, and then lifting it off, holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can set it back on the block and stand up or not. Shake out your legs. Very good. Very good. Strength, balance, flexibility. All right. We'll go ahead. And let's come on down to the floor. We'll do this through part of the vinyasa. Hands to the heart. Inhale up. Big sun. Exhale out and over. Halfway up. Exhale down. You can bend your knees as you bring your hands to the mat or your blocks. And then take the feet back. Split the knees. Sit back towards the heels. Stretch out into your child's pose. And notice your belly should be rising and falling. That's where you want your breath. Rising and falling. And slowly come up. So check that you have your strap or your towel. I'm using my sweatshirt here. You can really use anything. Roll it up in front of you. And I'm going to take my right leg in front. And then, so some of you, especially if you've tight hamstrings, you're going to want to lift up your buttocks. So give yourself more support. So you could take a pillow, a cushion. You could roll up some of your clothing there, another yoga mat, a bolster if you have that, so that you're elevated in the back. Your hips are a little bit higher. I'm going to take my left leg and I'm going to put, I'll show you this way, my left foot into my right leg. I want to keep the right toes and right shin bone going up. And I want this to be under 90 degrees. So this is not the wide opening. This is the narrow opening. So if I have my hands on my hips, they're even. If I drew a line going across, I have to keep bringing this one. If I take this leg too far out, there's no way that's happening. All right, so I'm going to take my strap, my towel, around that straight leg. I'm going to give myself lots of room so that I can lean back and get lots of length through my ribs and the front side and back side of my body. I'm going to exhale, bend my elbows, trying to keep this leg down. Think about my head not going to my knee, but looking at my toes. And the space between my right ribs and my right thigh should be getting smaller the longer I go out towards my toes. You could take both sides of your strap in your left hand, your right hand's outside, and that might help you kind of position yourself in a better way that you can come out over that right leg. Close your eyes and breathe. And then just also notice, really important here are your shoulders. We really don't want them coming up into the ears, so relax them back towards your hips. And if you have tight hamstrings, you are bending that right leg. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Hold on to both sides of the straps with your two hands. Look at your toes. Try to come up with a flat back. Sometimes that's the hardest part. You can take your strap off. You can go ahead and move that leg around a little bit. And then switch sides. Left leg's out. Remember the toes and the shin bones stay going out. Right foot goes into the inner left thigh. And then lengthen. I might try to get on my sits bones a little better and kind of take that extra flesh to the sides. I'm going to take my strap along the leg and under that foot. I'm going to lengthen, get all kinds of length through the ribs and my spine. Then exhale, bringing my left ribs over the left thigh, looking at my toes, breathing, listening to the hamstring on my left leg, hamstrings, and then just bending it, bending that leg if I need to, straightening if I don't. Check out your right knee, what it's doing. We want to try to avoid it flying up into the air. If it is, you might need more support where you're sitting. I might take both sides of the strap with my right hand, left hand out, and use that to kind of leverage myself and come more out over that leg towards the toes. 3 deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale. Exhale. Hold both sides of the straps with the two hands here. Lengthen up, flat back. Very good. Take the strap off and shake out that leg. So cobbler's pose. Again, you could use the support to raise your hips, especially if the hips, so if the knees are a lot higher than the hips, that's the reason we want to add a support, add some height. And then what should naturally happen is the knees start to drop down, right? So if that's you, use your support. So this part, we're going to turn the soles of the feet towards each other as we can. I'm coming onto the outsides of the feet. And I'm opening at the hips. So we already did goddess pose. Should be a little more open, able to do this. And you decide if you need the support or not. Another thing to do, if you have a yoga block, this is really interesting. This takes a bit of time. We don't have enough time to do it all. But you can take your block between your feet, wiggle to the right and the left, remove the extra flesh, keep the soles of the feet towards the block, and then gently let the knees go down. Opening at the chest. And then slowly bring your hands outside the knees and bring them up. You can butterfly your legs a little bit. See how much time. We don't have enough time to do everything I wanted to do. Always happens, huh? So let's go ahead and come on to the floor. We're going to do some twists. So you want your little toes on the edges of your mat. That's how wide your feet should be. Unless you're really petite, then maybe they can be a little more narrow. I'm going to take my hands down by my hips, palms down, shoulders into the floor, elbows into the floor. Find a spot to focus on the ceiling. Inhale. And on the exhalation, the feet are just going to roll. They're not going to come totally off the mat. I'm going to take both knees to the right. I feel a really nice stretch in my left quad. If I want to, I can pick up my right foot, put it on top of the left thigh, drawing that leg further down. And then I really feel that stretch through my quad and my hip. But I need to keep the left shoulder down. That's the part. If the left shoulder can't stay down, then don't add that foot. Should feel pretty nice. Breath in your belly. And then let's take that foot off if we've added it. Roll the feet as the knees go up to the sky. So check that the feet, little toes are still on the edge. Inhale, exhale, both knees over to the opposite side. Make sure you don't have any props or things in your way. Breathing, feeling that nice stretch in your right quad. I could add my left foot on top of the right thigh. Breathing. Soften the eyes. You can even close the eyes. Make sure that the right shoulder is down. If it's popping up, you might want to try to turn the palm up to the sky. That'll rotate the shoulder outward, and that's going to just help you, especially if you have tight shoulders. That rotation of the shoulder should enable you to keep the shoulder closer to the ground. If you've turned that palm up to the sky, turn it back down, take the left foot off, put the little toe on the edge of the mat, both knees up. And then just do some windshield wipers, gently going to the right and to the left and to the right and to the left. And to end in Shavasana. So you could do a couple options here. One, if you like cobbler's pose, you could take the soles of the feet towards each other. You could take your fists under your legs or the blocks under your legs so they relax. If you wanted to, you could mirror your lower body with your upper body and have the elbows go out like your knees do, opening the chest to the sky. If you don't like that option, you could stretch out the legs, turn the palms to the sky, and come into your regular Shavasana. Make sure that your chin is towards your chest and not the ceiling. Otherwise, give yourself a pillow with your sweatshirt or a blanket. And then one other option for those of you who may want to open up your spine, assisted supported bridge, feet are hip distance. I've got a block. I'm going to exhale, lift up my low back. I'm getting this block between my tailbone, and you've got two bumps, one to the right, one to the left. So your sacrum here, and I can just relax. Some people with lower back issues even like to take their legs up to the sky, just balance on the block. Again, it kind of depends on you if this is comfortable for you or not. So whichever of these options you take, you should be relaxed, not working. And closing your eyes, bring your awareness back to your breath. And start to lengthen the inhalation, lengthen the exhalation. Might be the most peaceful time you have of the day, so enjoy it. And make sure your hands are relaxed. They're not in fists. Maybe spread out your fingers as wide as they can and then relax. And check out your face. Drop your lower jaw down towards your feet. Shift it to the left. Shift it to the right. Shift it center. Drop it down as far as it'll go. Relax. Take the tip of your tongue, touch the roof of your mouth. And your lower lips can come closer to the upper lips, but you do not have to close your mouth. Let your whole face relax, including the space between your eyebrows and your forehead. Let your hairline drop towards the floor. And breathe. If you are in this supported bridge, bend your knees, take one foot down, the second foot down, lift up your hips and take out your block. If you're in cobbler's pose, take your hands outside your legs and slowly bring your knees together. And if you're in Shavasana, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, maybe stretch your arms out over your head. And then everyone curl over onto your right side in your fetal position. Chin towards the chest. And then using your hands to push yourself up to a seated pose. Going nice and slow. You can go into hero's pose or cross-legged. Take your arms up, make the sun. Line up your palms and your fingers, bending the elbows, trace your face. And land your hands at your heart. Thank yourself and your friends for your practice this Friday. Namaste. Good job, everyone. Make it a great day. It looks beautiful out there so far. At least it did. And Judith will be back tomorrow and next week. Take good care.